Sorry, my buttons are not working correctly. Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly strategically minded Handelabra stream hosted by Logic Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch or Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Logic Dolphin on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, or pretty much any avenue. Sentinels of the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, Spirit Island, and Horizons of Spirit Island are all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices, with the exceptions of One Deck Dungeon, which is also available on Switch, and One Deck Galaxy, which is only on early access on Steam. You can find more information on those games at handelabra.com. But I am here today to play Spirit Island, and, well, it has some of the new stuff with Jagged Earth. This is the beta build, so it's private, but earlier this week, I believe it's been announced that Jagged Earth will be released in installments, and you can purchase it, I believe, directly through the app or something. I don't know the exact details. Don't quote me on all of this. But until it is officially all out, it would be, I think, discounted. But I don't know. I think it's first quarter 2024 is when the first bits are set to be released. You can find more information on that on the Handelabra blog. But since I am a beta tester, I get to see stuff early. Of course, everything that I'm able to show is stuff that has already been shown directly by the developer, so I'm not cheating the system here. So, yeah, I'm here playing Spirit Island. There will be some Jagged Earth events, some Jagged Earth power, Jagged Earth. I was thinking Nature Incarnate. No, Jagged Earth, power cards, blade cards, there are some event cards, there are some tokens. I don't know if they will appear in the how to play just yet. I'm sure that's not finalized yet. But yeah, we'll see if we get some Badlands. Actually, are they in here? I wonder. Not sure exactly where it would be. Spirit tokens. Yeah, Badlands is in here. Aha! So what Badlands does, since I'm not too familiar with it because I haven't played the physical game too often, Badlands are lands very difficult for humans to live in. This doesn't affect spirits at all, but makes invaders and Dahan, not Dahan, more vulnerable and they take more damage. During each action, one time it damages invaders in a land, damage is increased by 1 per Badlands. During each action, one time it damages Dahan in a land, damage is increased by 1 per Badlands. Restriction on what types of pieces can be damaged affect the bonus damage too, such as 1 damage to buildings. If damage is reduced to 0, then Badlands aren't relevant. So I guess defend 2 is still enough to defend against the town, but if you defend 1 and the town would deal 1 damage in a land with Badlands, that Badlands increases it by 1, which becomes 2, and so the land would blight. Basically, Badlands means blight will happen if you don't full defend. The power's damage is capped at some maximum. Bonus damage from Badlands does not count against that maximum. Actions damaging each invader or each Dahan in a land do not get the bonus damage for each piece, just 1 total per Badlands. Alright, so when it says 1 damage to each invader, just like before when you have a +1 damage thing, it doesn't now mean 2 damage per... Oh. Damages invaders in land. Well, no. Each time it damages invaders in the land, damage is increased by 1 per Badlands. But it doesn't. All right. So during each action, one time it damages invaders in the land. Oh, and it damages the Han. Okay. I was reading that. It says damaging invaders, damaging the Han, not the land. Okay, got it. Thank you for the clarification. See, I have not played this too often, which is why, or even at all. I've never actually played it. All right. Yeah, so it doesn't damage that. So town dealing 1 damage would not increase the damage to the land, but if I defend 1 and it doesn't blight the land, it still kills the Dahan. Okay. Don't listen to what I'm saying here. This is me reading the rules and figuring it out as I go. Okay. But yeah, going back to 1 damage to each invader, plus 1 damage doesn't mean 2 damage to each invader. It's 1 damage to each invader plus an extra damage that you can distribute it. It's per Badlands, so if you have 2 Badlands, you have 1 damage to each invader, plus 1 damage, plus 1 damage. Actions dealing damage in multiple lands add bonus damage in each land according to how many Badlands there are. Dealing damage in multiple lands, add bonus damage in each land. So if you have 1 Badlands, and you're dealing damage in 2 lands, which there aren't too many powers that do that. I'm thinking about the one that does 4 damage, 1 range from a sacred site, 4 damage, 2 range from a sacred site. So presumably that would be able to be increased by 1 for each land. Badlands only boost damage, they don't change destroy effects. Badlands are active as soon as they're added to the board, so a power which adds 1, then deals damage, will get its damage boosted by the Badlands. And Badlands tokens stay on the board unless explicitly removed. And a few effects, I think this is also new. Beasts also count as Badlands, so if this effect is active, each beast's token in the affected area is also treated as a Badlands. Note that 1 fear per beast / Badlands on a land with 1 beast would still only do 1 fear. The word do here, there's another power card that John said that says do fear, but do fear is weird. It means 1 fear per piece that is beasts or Badlands, yes. If the effect is optional, you may decide both per action and per piece. So if you had your presence may also count as beasts, you could treat 2 of your presents as beasts for a power card, then none of them as beasts for a later event. With fear and event cards, the card's text is viewable before making the decision. Cool. Anything else that's new here? Strife is old, disease is old, unless there's like some weird new rule that was added to these. Like, we have now decided that beasts now count as blah blah blah. Beasts now provide an innate defend 1. That would be a major rule change. Alright, so I thought about doing quick play, but I'm not going to do it this time because I want to do a little weird setup. It's one of the setups that I believe is considered to be an easier setup. How does this work? I have to set it like this? No, it's not quite, darn it. Because the rotation things are weird. Because like this is like the piece that's considered the center. I want this one. I don't want it rotated that way though. I want the coast all on the left here is what I want. But it's not letting me. It's not letting me. So I thought that was an arrangement that's possible. Do I have to like... What if I pull up different boards? Can I like do it like this and then like this? Whatever, that works. All the coast on the left. I couldn't get it with the rotations, but I got it in the end. And I'll just go ahead and take these spirits that kind of, the boards kind of changed, the spirits kind of changed, whatever. I'll just roll with it. FBD. Right, so we have Fangs, we have Thunder Speaker, we have Vital Strength of the Earth. France is the adversary that was chosen for us. Let's make it France 4. This setup is allegedly easier because if all the beasts come from one side of the board, then it's easier to isolate the other board. And when I say isolate, I don't mean the keyword isolate. But it'll be easier to get the invaders out of the inner land because there's less ways of getting there other than from the west. So this is allegedly easier. I'm just going to roll with it. France 4. I want to do scenario. Powers Long Forgotten is always a fun one, especially with France because you get extra chances. But we could do Guard the Ale's Heart if we really want it to be thematic, but that would also make it too easier. This is -50 difficulty, according to John. Board the Shores would actually be thematic if all the shores are on the left. Yeah, let's do Ward the Shores. So France 4, so we have a limit of 7 towns per player. Invaders win if you ever cannot place a town. Stage 2 escalation. After exploring a board, pick a land with the shown terrain. If it has buildings, add a blight, otherwise add a town, so they could still get to the inner lands a little more easily. Fear card distribution is 4-4-4. Except during setup, after invaders successfully explore into a land which had no buildings, add an explorer there. During setup, put Slave Rebellion under the top 3 cards of the event deck. It would be interesting if it was an invader deck. After invaders build in a land with 2 explorers or more, replace all but 1 explorer there with an equal number of towns. During setup, add a town to the highest numbered land without towns, as well as to land 1. And whenever invaders build a coastal city, add a town to the adjacent land with the fewest towns. So towns, towns, towns. That's all around. Ward the shores. Setup change. Number of warding patterns limited to 4 times the number of boards. 3 boards is 12. All fear cards are put to the fear deck. If you run out, shuffle the deck. So, normal fear-based victory is no longer possible. Instead, on Terror level 2+, there's a warding pattern in every coastal land. And we can place a warding pattern down by playing a power card face down as if it were a slow power, range 0 from a sacred site, cost is 0 energy, but the effect is to pay 2 energy per blight and per building to add a warding pattern. Once placed, each warding pattern grants defend 3 in its land. They are destroyed anytime blight is added to their land. So we have 3 coastal lands per board, which means that we have 12 warding patterns, 9 lands. So we have an excess of 3, which we could use to double up or place in an inner land if we so desire. We don't have to do it coastal, it can go anywhere. As long as it's range 0 from a sacred site. And we have Thunder Speaker and we have Fang, so sacred sites are very easy, so nice. And we have Vital Strength of the Earth, who also goes well with the innate defend, or has his innate defend, which goes well with the innate defend of the warding pattern. However, I guess this theoretically makes the game easier because we get defend 3s everywhere and we can win as long as there's warding patterns, so we don't necessarily care about the invaders as much. Except for the fact that 1, we still need to get to Terror level 2, so we still need to generate fear. And 2, during stage 3, explorers add towns in addition to the usual explorers. Ooh boy. And even though it's not mentioned here, this is France, which means the extra town is kind of bad. So especially when they do a double explore, which is stage 3, you know, they're going to be exploring 4 lands per board. And if they hit every single land, because they have visibility everywhere, that's 12 towns, but we're limited to 21. So, you know, that's bad. So it could be difficult. It's difficulty 10 though. Well, because of this. Also difficulty 2 here. Ward with Earth is hard, no presence movement, and 1/1/1 growth. Yeah. But I mean, he gets the sacred sites on the coast. That's defend 3. I guess he also is slower at taking out buildings though, but he could like use his prevent things from happening thing to stop buildings from hearing. You get a lot of energy, which helps a lot though, so we'll see. But yeah, it is a little bit difficult, but we have like 2 spirits with very mobile presences that can come over to board D if they so desire. All right, so this is rather interesting because like this is Fangs' board right here, but if I so want, I could put a presence down in D3. So this is because setup, put a presence and a beasts in your starting board in the highest numbered jungle, put a presence in a land of your choice with beasts anywhere on the island. I could put it in D3. I'm very tempted to, just because that's so far away. Gives more utility with Fangs. So sure, I will. My presence is so far away, I can't see the other one. This is really testing the verticality of this app. Starting with the Wetlands Explore. So coastal city threats here and here, right out the gate. Coastal city means that a town is added to the adjacent land with the fewest towns. And we only have 12 towns left, and they are presently building 2 towns and 4 cities, so yeah, if we don't do anything about all of that, Going 4 vertical breaks the camera. Well, thankfully I'm not doing 4 today. Last time I did 4, it took like 3.5 hours. Just because it's so much to have to parse. Sorry, my microphone disconnected and that screwed the audio everywhere. I was saying that the last time I did 4 spirits was 3.5 hours. Just because it's a lot to parse at once. 3 spirits, hopefully less to parse, but we'll see. But yeah, those are the coastal land threats. And then every other build is just these. So what do we want to do about those? Hypothetically, we could have Fangs prevent a build using prey on the builders. I tend to do something like that. I tend to hoard the plants for turn 2. I'd have to use Ranging Hunt to go into D2 and then D1, and that would stop that build, but it does nothing for D3. Not the worst, because there's nothing in D3. Kind of would be nice to place a warding pattern in D1 if I'm going to do that, but I won't have the Sacred Site, and I won't have the card play because I'd have to play 2 animals, right? Because if I do... Oh, no, I only need 1 animal if I go up energy track like I normally do. But I don't have the Sacred Site. Because I will only have 1 beast that I can use to move around, and that only puts 1 presence in D1. You could, of course, Perfect Stillness to stop a city build as well. That might be easier. I could put the Sacred Site in D3 and do the warding pattern that way. Main downside being that I will only have 2 energy if I take the power card. So I won't really be able to play anything else, because there will be a town in D3. I guess I could do Prey in D3. And then there wouldn't be a town. And then I could place the warding pattern, because that would be 0 energy then. So that's a thought. What about the build in B1? Is there a way to prevent that? We don't really have anyone close to B1. Like, Fangs is nowhere close. The presence can hit B5, that's range 3. It could Ranging Hunt to get into B1 and prevent the build that way. Does mean that D3 would build the town and I wouldn't have energy, because I'm playing Prey, which costs 1. But it would be a way to prevent the city build, and therefore the neighboring town. Sudden ambush doesn't kill any towns, and there's no build prevention there, so Thunder Speaker's no help, and Earth is gonna be no help. Alright, so I'm gonna click this because it does reveal information. Anything that changes what we want to do here. Land of Haunts and Embers stops a build if we so desire, at the cost of a blight. Preferably we want animals and or plants though, and that has none of those. The only one with animals is Territorial Strife. The only one with plant is Disorienting Landscape. Territorial Strife is a new card. 3 damage to an Explorer town, or add a Strife, any land with city. And there will be a land with city. At the very least, B6. But I won't have range there unless I grow into B5 or a Raging Hunt somehow. This does also give a fire for Frenzied Assault at least. Disorienting Landscape gives the moon for Frenzied Assault. but that's not going to happen this round anyway. Not really super exciting picks. This is a free card. This is a Sacred Site range, so that's a bit harder for Fangs. Especially if you subscribe to the theory that Fangs should convert beasts always and forever, which I don't necessarily. Not sure if either of these are going to be played this turn. Probably Territorial Strife is the pick because it can remove towns, which is a perk. Alright, so do I want to prevent this build or this build is the question. And I guess the Coastal City is more important. We do want to put warding patterns down eventually, but Coastal City is a threat. So Prey on the Builders. And if I do the warding pattern, I can only do it in land with Sacred Site, which I don't have. And it has to be a 0 energy cost, which it won't be if it's in a wetlands, so I'm not gonna do that. So I guess I could use Terrifying Chase to push the things out of D3. We'll generate Fear, stops that Ravage, means I don't have to defend it. Allows me to use Ranging Hunt somewhere else next round. Such as B1, maybe? I can't play that if I'm playing this, so let's do that. Beasts conversion. My presence is also far apart that any beast conversion is kind of going to lose visibility somewhere. Like I need this presence to see B1. This presence to be able to maneuver around board F. I could remove it and place it back next turn though. This is needed for D3, so really it's only F5 I could remove, which is not really super vital. I guess I'll remove it. All right. So let's see, Vital Strength, not much energy. If I'm gonna block the D1 build, I need more energy. Could grow up energy track to be able to afford it and gain a power card. Or I could put my presence somewhere to help. If I put it in D1 this turn and I Sacred Site it next turn, it would block the Ravage, especially for blocking that build, which is fairly valuable. I could also just defend it with Guard the Healing Land. But it is coastal, so we do want to get Sacred Sites there eventually. So let's place the presence. I think I want more energy, so I'm not gonna work up card plays just yet. Even though I normally get to 2 card plays as soon as I can. But let's stick with this for now. Your Perfect Stillness in D1 to stop the city build, and then next turn Sacred Site will defend for the Ravage, and then I could maybe do a warding pattern in D1, and then I don't have to worry about D1 for the rest of the game, really. Because that will have defense 6. So even if the invaders explore, and they put an extra explorer, and then they build, and they convert an explorer into a town, that's 5 damage versus 6. So pretty good. So now what about Thunder Speaker? We need to set up for a big damage turn for either of these two. Because we could, like, gain the millions of energy, use manifestations together with something like Voice of Thunder, get Dahan and Presence in a spot and deal lots of damage. It's only going to be 4 damage, though. Because there's not too many Dahan around F7. A little more around B6. The main issue is if I play manifestations, I would like to be able to play 2 cards. The only way I can move Dahan around, sorry, Dahan, the only way I can move Dahan around is with Voice of Thunder, which pushes out of 1 land, or by playing an animal card, which Words of warning won't do anything. Sudden ambush costs a lot. It will give me the animal, but it'll only give me... I guess it gives it 2 air, which is for gather 2. But, seems a bit difficult. I guess, like, I could gather into B6, kill the explorer there, gather 2 with gather the warriors, and then manifestation deals 6 damage. So I didn't need to kill the explorer, but I did get the extra Dahan, and that takes care of B6 for next turn. And then B1 we said would deal with Fangs, so F3, which is a threat, is then defended with words of warning. Because we have to make sure any neighboring Dahan, sorry. I'm so self-conscious because there's a YouTube comment or somewhere, maybe a Discord. I remember reading somewhere that said, according to Eric Rouse, the pronunciation is Dahan and not Dahan. But, you know, anyway, I do read comments and I try to correct as needed. But yeah, so I will need lots of energy for that, but it does work, I think. So I said it was going to be an issue, but it's not really an issue. Sudden ambush, manifestation. The main issue is that it costs 5 energy to play those cards, but I'm just going to probably take energy this way, because, like, the main way I play Thunder Speaker is use growth option 3 for energy and just grow off the bottom track. You don't get many presences, but your energy comes from here. You don't get as many elements, but you get it from card plays instead, I guess. That's all my card plays. Did my beast's conversion. Now I do the things I said I would do. Block that. Ranging hunt into there. Pray that. Sudden ambush that. And all the city builds are blocked. Well, all the coastal city builds are blocked, to be clear. So the only blight next turn should be F7. Wait, did I say I was going to ranging hunt D3? Whoops. Or no, I'm going to terrifying chase D3. That's right. Actually, I guess I could terrifying chase B1 into B6. Because this also pushes the Dahan. As long as that's enough damage. Which will be 4 Dahan, 2 presence is 8 damage, 3, 5, 7, 8. That kills everything in B6 more efficiently. And then I can ranging hunt D3. Which will require a beast's conversion in there. But it is doable. I like that plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. So when I gather... And I do need everything. 3, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, so there's only going to be 1 Dahan. 1 Dahan! I have to correct myself every time. When you say something wrong for 3 years... a lot of effort to correct it. Alright, so you're going to be gaining energy, so you aren't looking at power cards. You almost always look at power cards. And Earth can get away with power card because you're going to place a sacred site, which is a good opportunity to gain a power card. Let's click on Earth first. See if we chose the correct order here. People don't necessarily care for these elements, but sun, earth, plant. We have some sun plants. We have some earths. Sun earths. Yeah, lots of things there. So, promises of protection seems like the most promising, no pun intended. But it doesn't have earth, or sorry, it doesn't have plant, which is the second most needed element. We're probably not playing it this turn anyway, because we're going to be playing a warding pattern. Also mountains. I should probably think about the mountains a little bit. There's only one coastal mountain and it's not building a city, so that's not a big threat. This one is a threat because it's blighted, but with a sacred site here, it could be guard the healing landed, and that would be enough to defend even with the extra town that it gets with the extra explorer. That's not a big deal. This is a slight problem at D8. But actually I can't do much about it. It has to have Dahan. Especially when I'm doing a warding pattern. I can't even play it this turn anyway, so it'd have to be somehow defending that next turn. So do any of these defend D8 next turn is a question. I could play Spur On to play an extra card, but doesn't really do much. Also, I have to place the warding pattern during the power. Once per turn, each spirit may play a power card face down. So you can actually do this any time during the turn. Interesting. Anytime you play a power card, it could be a warding pattern as long as it's only once per turn. If target land is explorers, gather up to one explorer. Do likewise for towns, Dahan, blight, and beasts. Like calls to like. That could hit D7. And it would gather a town out of D8, and that would be enough to defend. So that's a thought. Let's look at Fangs' power. Just clicking minor seems to make sense. This is the only animal. This is the only plants. Range 2, land without invaders, gather, 0 energy, generally nice. We need three animals in order to be able to have the damage in ranging hunt, which is important this turn. So the only way to do that this round is to play Too Near the Jungle and Teeth Gleam. Or no, because we get the plant here. So I only need one of these, and then an animals card. So it'd have to be this one or one of these. Bat Scout for Raids by Darkness. I love the names of cards in Spirit Island. Saying in 5 words what could be said in 2. For each Dahan, 1 damage to building or 1 fear, gather up to 2 Dahan. Doesn't help with D8. F4 is also a threat. F6 has Dahan. Would like to save them, I guess. Don't really have visibility there, especially if I'm putting a second beast in D3, so I don't have visibility on that board. Actually, no one's on this board anymore. Whoops. Whoopsies. That's okay. It's a problem for tomorrow. Yeah, this would be the animal card I'd have to play, though. Does it have utility for this turn? I mean, for each Dahan, combos with Thunder Speaker, so I guess I take it because of that. Unless I'm playing a warding pattern, which I'm not, because I'm not going to have a sacred site anywhere. So I'm placing this presence, and I'm converting it. And then I'm playing this, plus an animal plant. I'm not in a jungle anywhere. Unless I vacate to D2, then I'm in lots of jungles. And I do have to be in a jungle, I guess, so... Land without blight is a bit difficult. I guess I take too near the jungle then. Back to Vital Strength. Let's table that for a second. Let's think about Thunder Speaker. This is range 1 presence. If I go into D1, I could maybe Because I have the animal, I could get I could get Dahan into D8. And D8 is range 2 from D2 through D1. Which means we could do 2 damage to a town, I guess. I also have Voice of Thunder, which does push up to 4. And at that point, we could do rituals in D8, which will kill the city and a town, in which case I don't need Bat Scout. But if I do Bat Scout instead, it kills the town. There'll still be a city and an explorer, but it's defend 3, which is enough. And 2 Dahan will be in there, and that's enough to kill the city and the explorer. So that's not bad. So yeah, this power card's not going to come into use this turn. Playing guard the healing land for D5 next turn, I guess. So promises a protection. I'm not playing this turn, but this with Thunder Speaker and Badlands, I guess, eventually. Okay, I'll take it because that. Need to get the 2 card plays next so I can do more things. I'm not playing that one. Playing one of these face down. I'm just gonna do draw, I guess. I don't know, because I need to play this, and this seems better than draw, especially since we have Thunder Speaker for Dahan movement. This needs to go into D1, or at least close enough to D8, but let's go to D1. Play that. We don't have a Sacred Site. Well, I guess we do, but we need to play to defend, and we'd like to have elements for gather, so that's that. Okay. So defend there. Ranging hunt here. And now we have 1 blight, 8 towns. Yikes. It's a lot of towns. Strange tales attract explorers. Now, 1 fear per spirit that has at least 1 sacred site. After advancing invader cards, add an explorer to each land with sacred site. Beasts attack. Each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys buildings. Coming of age. On each board, add Dahan to mountains or sands with Dahan. Right, so this is an update where they're going to have you click to resolve these effects, so I don't actually have to read it out loud before I see things. That's actually very helpful. So you have the fear per spirit that has sacred sites, and after advancing invader cards, explore to each land with sacred site. I don't think it's really going to screw anything up. Damage in lands with beasts kills the city in D2, which I like a lot. Kills a town in F7 if so desired. Doesn't stop the blight, but it does remove a town. Not bad. This one does nothing. We do lose 2 beasts, but beasts are stonks. On each board, add a Dahan to a mountains or sands with Dahan. So if we could defend F6, this one would be helpful. Otherwise, I mean, I guess it's not gonna die because 5 damage, 6 health of Dahan. Sands, mountains or sands. This is the only option there, so that's not really anything. This is a worthy location. We can't do this one because it doesn't have Dahan, so let's do this one. Yeah, so we can that Dahan will kill a town unless towns have plus health or there's like extra damage or something. Each player adds strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. Well, so much for that land. We could strife and explore, and then they get replaced, which means they'll still have the strife. which is pretty helpful. This is defended enough. This one's not presently defended at all, but strifing the city stops that ravage entirely, which is nice. So let's see, I think we want to do that one. We want to do this one. And this is another problem land. Just mainly because it has Blight. I don't have a means of targeting that land with things, even if he's on that board, because, well, it turns out he doesn't target Blight lands that well. So I guess the Underspeaker needs to do something there next turn. But what? Sudden ambush and words of warning, but that's not going to be enough. I guess it would be enough if the Explorer is strafed. Well, because words of warning is defend 3, it actually is enough defend. Because sudden ambush kills the Explorer, there'll still be 2 towns. Defend 3 is enough. If I strife this Explorer, does it do anything really? I don't think it does, because presently, if nothing else happens in here, it's 3 damage, which kills 1 Dahan. If I strife the Explorer, it's 2 damage, which still kills 1 Dahan, and still blights the land. I guess I could just strife this city, and that wouldn't be terrible. Strifing cities generally a good idea. Especially because with the Slave Rebellion, eventually the strife cities could convert to Dahan. Convert that one. Jungle. Well, that strife city is gonna lose its strife before the Slave Rebellion. Or is it? No, the Slave Rebellion comes right before that ravage. Oh, that's nice then, actually. Okay. And then the extra explorers, which only affects D8, which might actually be a little bad. All right. That gather. Go along with the Dahan. That's fine. Stay there. Push those. Actually, this is fine with Bat Scout, isn't it? I guess I was originally going to do. I was thinking about rituals for all the Dahan, but then I didn't. But yeah, now the damage here. Oh, I can't actually hit the explorers. Oh. Oh, but I could. Oh, I can kill a city. That is enough defense still. Okay. Nifty. I only needed 3 Dahan for that. Did I need all of those? Could I have pushed somewhere else? It'd have to be a neighboring singleton, which I'm not so fond of. Too near the jungle. It does hit D5 if I want it to. The jungle build, however, even though this is diseased, if I kill this guy, blocks the ravage mainly, so I accept that. This is a Thunder Speaker Reclaim, which is 2 power cards. Grow through sacrifice, which is, its days are numbered. It is going to be replaced with the Nature Incarnate replacement, which has the same elements, but not as broken in effect. We have Nature's Resilience, which would hit F4, if so desired. Carapace Land. If targeting land with beasts, this power has +1 range, defend 3, with 2 earths, defend 3. Well, these 2 powers have the same elements, but they're not good for what I want. Air, animal, sun, fire. This says animal, I guess. This has animal, has fire. I do have a lot of animals, so I could do the unlock both. Unfortunately, this would have been better on Fangs. This would have been an insta-click on Fangs, because you would almost always do both, especially once you get to the second animals. Probably inclined to click Nature's Resilience since it is a solution to F4. I guess we were going to do sudden ambush and words of warning, but it's kind of a lot of effort though. I'm gonna click that one. Second power. Scream disease into the wind. Disease! Target spirit gets +1 range. Once this turn, after target spirit uses a power targeting a land, they may add the disease to that land. Interesting. Well, if I want air, it's these two. If I want sun, that sucks. If I want animal, it's these two. If I want fire, it's this one, or these two rather. Okay. So those are the options there. Fangs is gaining a power card, because almost always it's a Badlands. At a Badlands, or if wilds and invaders are present. Sorry, I think my cable is going bad. Because before, it would be if I accidentally tapped it, it would break it. Now it's just always breaking. Okay. Or if wilds and invaders are present, 1 fear and 1 damage. Nice thing about my microphone though is that if it does lose connection, then I don't hear it in my ears, which tells me that the cable is broken. All right, Call to Migrate would have been, I guess that's still fine for Fangs. It does combo with Thunder Speaker. It is slightly nicer to have the air and animal on Thunder Speaker, but it definitely makes Thunder Speaker a very mobile spirit. Shadows of the Burning Forest gives everything but animal to Fangs. Not sure. This turn we're just getting an energy, so I would still need to play an animal and a plant animal. So it'd have to be one of these plus Teeth Gleam. So it's gonna have to be probably just Call to Migrate. Right, because next turn is the Slave Rebellion, so this is perfect for setting up the Slave Rebellion, so I'll do that. +1 range with all their powers. Also, is Earth gaining a major, or sorry, not major, a power? Could be major. Sacred Site and D6 wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's see, so for the Blight in the jungles, also, is there any coastal city? No. So we'd like to get Dahan into F2 for the Slave Rebellion. We'd like to defend B4. We'd like to defend D6 to save the presence. We have to guard the Healing Land in D5 for sure. You only really have 5 energy spare. Still a lot of energy. You're playing 2 cards. Promises of protection into D6 next turn would get Dahan into D6, and we don't want to do it now because the Ravage in D5. If I gain a power, I mean, I'm either gaining a power this turn or next turn, and I don't need the energy this turn. I mean, I guess I could gain a power next turn as well, but all my lands will have been Sacred Sighted, so I would want to place a presence at range more than 0. So it's either gain energy or reclaim cards, which it could be a reclaim, but if I'm playing 2 cards and discard the Healing Land, it's not really going to be Rituals. So I guess I'm gaining a power to replace Rituals. I can't do a warding pattern in coast this turn because I don't have range. I guess actually I do have plus range if I take this one, which is interesting. Actually, yeah. Actually, yeah. If I can play it this round. Warding pattern plus a disease is interesting. Alright, so where do we want to convert beasts or just otherwise place presence? If we do ranging hunt in F5, that stops that build entirely. So I'd have to place a presence there, and I'd have to keep the presence there, so I'm not converting. This build is fine, and we can deal with that pretty effectively next turn. B4... that could be blocked with Thunder Speaker next turn. B8 isn't really an issue. And F2 is not really an issue. We would like to get Dahan in there. Dahan. See, I think this needs to go into F5. So, or just near F5 really, but might as well be F5. You're playing that one. You have to play an animal, and Call to Migrate sets up for next turn really well. So yeah, so if I'm playing a wording pattern with Vital Strength, Screen will make getting wording patterns easier. Yes. Right, so we're already here. So I'm playing this so that we can hit either D2 or B3 with it next turn. Kind of depends on where they explore, I suppose. So it has to be a warding pattern from from Vital Strength. I want to do Promises of Protection next turn. So am I doing it on Rituals? Or am I just going to take a power card to use for the warding pattern? There could be an escalation. I guess this Ravage is probably a little bad, but we're defending this. Yeah, we don't really have a plan for F6 this round, but... do we have a plan for B4? Whoops. Oh no, sorry, this is a jungle build, my bad. Right, so B7 is blading, but not D5, that's fine. There's no coastal build, yep, no coastal city build. So yeah, that's... sorry, I keep looking at the wrong land. That's defended. That's okay. That's Blight. We're gonna defend that. That's Blight. So I have to play Nature's Resilience if I'm defending F4, was what I was thinking. I'm not playing very many Dahan moving things this turn, it looks like. I can gather one. And that's it. Cool. Well, Call to Migrate will help with that. Promises of protection next turn will help, but mainly in D6. There's only one candidate for conversion in each land anyway, and it's gonna be F2 because there's a city there. We have to put 3 Dahan in there, so like that's probably a Call to Migrate target. Jungle build, so it's gonna be D6. I'm just gonna put eyeballs for that. D6 is the target for the town in board D, so board B is the only one that doesn't have an immediate candidate for Slave Rebellion. Probably B4 though, which I might have said last round and I already forgot. But if I do Sudden Ambush, so I do my Gather 1, and I do Sudden Ambush to kill an Explorer in there, there'd be 2 Dahan in B4. Slave Rebellion on the town converts into a Dahan, meaning town just is defended with Words of Warning. So these are my 2 cards next turn. I guess I can play 3 cards next turn. if I want, although I'm gonna have to reclaim immediately if I do that. I could place these if I have energy, but I'm not sure if I do. But yeah, that's a thought. Okay. So yeah, again, what am I gonna do with, am I gonna do this as a warding pattern? It is 3 energy, so it's fine, but it's also a fairly powerful card, but if you want to place my presence, I guess I'm sacred sighting D6 eventually anyway. I can't decide. I'm just gonna do power card because I'm gonna sacred sight D6 this turn anyway. Or I'm sacred sighting there at some point anyway, so let's just see what this power is. Dire Metamorphosis. 1 fear, 1 damage, 1 damage to Dahan. Add a Badlands, a Wilds, a Disease, a Strife, a Wilds, and a Blight. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. The Blight's the sad one. If I play it this round, I could Strife a city if there's a city somewhere still within range. I have plus range with all my powers. There is a city in B8. But then I guess that would be a candidate for Slave Rebellion. But no, we were gonna do that before, right? So, but I could Strife the city and then maybe get Dahan in there, but we don't have many Dahan movements after we're all done here. Jeez, that's a lot of tokens. I could just take Fire in the Sky. That also adds Strife. And at the very least, we could Strife the town in D8. Or sorry, no, they're gonna die in a Ravage. But there's like, you have sacred sites everywhere, so you'll find a place for it. So sacred site in the land that you can do it. And then play rituals as the warding pattern. Play guard the healing land for D5. All right. And I mean, might as well do this. But where am I think we're just gonna do it with the warding pattern though, because that makes a lot of sense to me. But I could put a disease in D5 instead. I did remove the blight though, so it's not really that big of a deal if it builds. This already has a disease, so it's also not a big deal if it builds. Let's do it with the wording pattern because it's a nice combo. Block that, and then ranging hunt to stop that. And I would put it in F2, but we're gonna Slave Rebellion that. I do need to be in a jungle. This one sees F8 better than it sees F2, so I could spread the beasts around, I guess. There could be a beast card that says 2 damage. So if I put it in F6, it could kill the town that way. I could put it in F1 preemptively in case they explore sands, and then I can kill the town before it turns into a city, or they pull this coastal city. Because we're going to use those Dahan to get into F2, so the Dahan won't be there anyway. F8's not really a big threat. I mean, I guess I don't have to be in the land with beasts, so I could put it in more than one spot. I could like do this. Okay. But I do have to stay in the jungle. All right. Seek new farmland. In each land with 2 or more towns, push a town to a land without towns. Oof. That's kind of bad because we do have a lot of centralized towns. Plagues bring fear and death. 1 fear per board with disease. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with disease. Rude. Engage on their own terms. During Ravage, Dahan only do 1 damage each, but deal damage before invaders. Ooh. That stops the F6 blight. Although it has 2 towns, so it was also stopped many other ways. Each land with 2 towns pushed to a land without towns. Kind of annoying, because we were kind of relying on killing towns this round. But also, I guess the Dahan are dealing less damage anyway. Pushing to a land without towns. So if we can maybe try to find a place where we could stop the town movement from occurring. Like, this town movement is going to F5, which is actually annoying because we stopped that build. And I can't stop that because these neighbors are never going to lose their town. Yeah. It's very important as we don't push into a coastal jungle that's building, but both of them are diseased. It's not that big of a deal. Mainly just because we'd have to defend it next turn, I suppose. It's D5, it's B7, F4, F6. We could push the Strife Town, because these Dahan are gonna kill everything in F6 anyway. And this Strife Town into F1 then converts to a... Or no, I can't put it in F1 anyway. I could still put it in F5. It is gonna build a city though, but is strifed. I guess that's helpful. If I do F4 to F5, does that stop the F6 push? It would actually. Because now this doesn't have a valid target. And yeah, that's better because that leaves this Strife Town in a land with Dahan that's gonna keep the Dahan. Okay. And then we stop the blight by doing the 3 damage to the non-strifed things. Cool. Yay. Teamwork. Okay. So then F6 and F4 are done, so that just leaves B7 and D5. B7 has to go to either D1, B5, or B6. D4 could go to D6. We don't want it to because it's building. D2, we'd have to defend it. D1 or D4. The Sands might be better candidates, but if we do get a Sands in the Explorer, that does mean we have to put a Blight in the Sands. I mean, it has to happen here anyway. It would have to happen here as well. Because the escalation is put a town in a land without towns or a Blight. Or rather, put a town in a land without towns or a Blight in a land with towns. Yeah. If I'm putting the ward in D2, putting the town there doesn't matter. True. It will cost 2 more energy to do that, but you do have millions of energy, so that's acceptable. I accept that. Okay. And probably just keep it with the big Dahan in case we do a manifestation there next turn or something. Or I could do B5 because there's nothing happening in Sands. If they explore Sands, we have B3 for a town. I can go either way on this, really. Probably because this already has a lot of Dahan. I probably want to keep manifestation candidacy there. 1 fear per board with disease. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with disease. So that's F2, that's D2, and it could have been D5 instead, but well. So that one is a bit tragic, but oh well. And then Dahan only do 1 damage, but they do damage first. Jungles. Hello, Blight. Well, it's actually kind of probably the worst possibility here. If I Blight D2, then I lose that presence. And then it's 2 more energy to put the warding pattern, but I mean, it doesn't change like the ability to defend that, but it does mean that the Slave Rebellion is a bit more annoying. Also, it's going to be a coastal city build, which this was also going to be Slave Rebellion. Well, actually, no, that's fine. Wait, is it land without towns or just... If it has buildings, so this is going to be a Blight. This is gonna, yeah. Even if it doesn't have towns, it's still a Blight. I lose my Sacred Site if I put it here. But it's kind of, well, I guess with Slave Rebellion, it's fine. I would need to reform that Sacred Site is what that means. Which is more valuable, an Earth Presence or a Fang's Presence? Probably a Fang's Presence. Considering that this is the only Fang's Presence on this board. This is a Cascade, of course, which kind of sounds like I have to put it in B8, but... Do I have a plan for B8? I don't really think so. My plan is to deal with it next round with manifestations, I guess? Issues today. Also, I got a notification that the last USB device malfunctioned. OBS seems to be reading it correctly, though. But, I mean, is it displaying static to the stream? I don't know. If you can hear me, say I. If you hear static, then say you hear static, I guess. But if you hear static, obviously don't hear me. Hi. All right. I mean, if I mean, like, it's either Cascade here now or Cascade here next Ravage. So probably like the... But if I Cascade here, it has to Cascade into B6. But if I Cascade in B4, it doesn't have to go into a land with presence. What about board F? I think the easy decision is that I have to leave this presence here for Call to Migrate to work, so it has to be F2. The thing that kind of sucks, though, is that... For one, this is coast, so this is going to be harder to warding pattern later. But also, that extra Explorer does screw with the ability to just ignore F2's Ravage. Because originally Slave Rebellion just largely handled F2, strifed the town, and then the Ravage is taken care of. But now there's 2 Explorers, so if they do Ravage, it's a Cascade. And I can't just ranging hunt to kill an Explorer because, of course, there's now a Blight there. So that sucks many ways. And then here, I guess we said it has to be a Cascade. Because if we do the B8 Cascade, it has to go into B6, but if my plan was to do Manifestation in B8 next turn, then that's just bad. Alright, so let's do that into B5. Kind of the worst possibilities. This is the last target, so disease that. Teeth gleam. Oh, I could just... Oh, but there's no beasts there, of course. Also, it doesn't... It's just fear, right? Land without blight as well. Okay, well, the Gather the Warriors was happening here. Like from that army. And then we're gonna do sudden ambush to kill an explorer. And defend. Slave rebellion in here to convert a town, and then that ravage is taken care of, as well as the subsequent build and ravage. Yay. What are we doing at F5 though? We could hope that we get a plant card. We just need a plant card for ranging hunt next turn. If I get a plant card and I add a beast here, and I convert a presence to a beast, then ranging hunt kills a city, and then we could hope to get lucky that something kills the town. If something kills the town, then the surviving Dahan would kill the explorer if I leave it there. The end step is to get 3 Dahan into F2, so either that's like, you know, gather 3, push 3 there, gather 3 here, or gather 3, push 3, which doesn't really change anything here, but it does mean I could pull from F6 instead. And leave the Dahan in F1. I could also, like, bring these Dahan over, although they were going to be used for B8. That said, I don't really have many. If I do Words of Warning, Sudden Ambush, and Manifestation, I do have Gather 3. And I guess I'm placing a presence. Like, if I'm doing this growth option, which I have to if I want to be able to spend 6 energy, I do have 3 presence, 3 Dahan. And that would be enough damage for B8, okay. But yeah, Thunder Speaker's not helping with board F that round. We have a fire in the sky, but you're definitely too far away to help. Promises of Protection was going in D6. I guess Fire in the Sky could hit B4. Which means I don't need Words of Warning for B4, as Sudden Ambush kills an Explorer, Fire in the Sky strifes the town, Slave Rebellion strifes the town, so the 2 towns convert into on. There will only be 1 Explorer who will die in a Ravage. Saved me anything for B8 though. I guess it lets me do Voice of Thunder into B8, but I don't need that. Another possibility is that I gain a power card with Vital Strength. Like, I'm gathering the Dahan into D6 with Promises of Protection, so I don't... Like, if I get something that's better than Fire in the Sky, I could use it. I could gain a Major, because I will have 6 energy. And forget something. And maybe the Major does something, but most of the problems are not here. They're up here. Gain a major with fangs with 5 energy? It's a thought. Like, if I get a major, it's... If it's a fast power that does damage, then F5 is taken care of, right? Alright, let's gather these then. I'm thinking about whether Thunder Speaker could get away with this growth, but she can't, as she has to play Sudden Ambush and Manifestation, and that's 5 energy, and you only have 4, so it has to be this growth option. But Fangs. Alright, Major. That's fast damage. That's really good. Not gonna have 3 fire. I think I'm strafing a town in F2. There isn't a town in F2. I think I was pushing a town in F2 somehow. Well, too late for that if that was the case. Well, no, I wasn't anyway. I guess I just forgot that the land was diseased. Pence Up Calamity is really close to solving F5. Slave Rebellion can go in F1 instead. It's not really the most useful target, but like I don't have enough Dahan in F5 to do Slave Rebellion there. We're doing it there, we're doing it there. Sure, it'd be nice if I had Dahan in D2, but oh well. It's almost certainly that's just because it synergizes so much with Fang's elements. And we'll actually hit this threshold this turn. So we're getting the animal. I mean, I could just strife the town and then add disease, but I could remove the beasts and kill everything in the land instead. It's annoying I'm not going to have the threshold on it because, you know, returning the tokens or otherwise adding strife is nice, but... We don't have the threshold on this, and it's 1,000,000 energy. This is an interesting thought. It requires a sacred site, which is annoying because I wouldn't be converting a beast. Ranging hunt would... I have to have a plant anyway, so I don't even have damage in the ranging hunt. So no, it's going to be Pens Up Calamity. We're getting Terrifying Chase, probably, because it's usually the least synergistic base power. Bat Scout still synergizes with Thunder Speaker, I feel like, that, and also Call to Migrate. So it's gonna be that one, and placement and conversion, excuse me. Takes care of that. So I still do ranging hunt. Sorry, the ranging hunt is here. We have 3 damage there to kill a city. And then Pent Up Calamity, we can remove a beast to do 3 damage to kill the remaining stragglers. We could add a disease and a strife and then preserve the beasts that way, but main issue is that F2 is blighting, and I can't solve that directly unless I Pent Up Calamity there and let F5 blight instead. Oh! Yeah, that blight is going to blight the island, but can't do anything about it unless something helpful comes from the event card. You do get a power card here. And you said it was going to be major. Probably forgetting Draw the Fruitful Earth. Or it could just forget your Perfect Stillness. Well, that's a lot of new powers. Sleep and Never Waken. Range 2 from a Sands. Invaders skip all actions in target land. 1 fear per 2 explorers this card removes. Remove up to 2 explorers. 3 moon, 2 air, 2 animal. Remove up to 6 explorers from among your lands. That's like an upgraded Year of Perfect Stillness? I am not in a Sands though, so it's not helpful this round. Trees and Stones. Perfect Elements. And I can throw it in D6 after Promises of Protection. Which doesn't do much even with the threshold. Kind of would be nice to do Trees and Stones into D2 instead or something, but then D6 blights and we don't want D6 to blight. Bargains of Power and Protection. Remove 1 of your explorers on the island from the game. From now on, each Dahan within 1 range of your presence provides Defend 1 in its land, and you gain 1 less energy each turn. Well, Vital Strength is definitely the spirit for that. If you have 3 Sun, 2 Water, 2 Earth, the presence instead comes from your presence track. I mean, you're not going to have that, at least this round. You could. Although this doesn't have Sun. That's what's a little annoying. You do have 2 Waters, though, is the thing. Ooh, boy. Range 0, land with Dahan. Like, that synergizes with frickin' Promises of Protection. Gather them into D6, and then Bargain of Power. Remove 1 of my presence. But now each Dahan within range 1 has Defend 1. I mean, it has to be this, right? Like, this sounds cool, but I'm not in Sands. I guess I could place a presence in Sands, but no, I'm actually placing a Sacred Site this round. Trees and Stone synergizes so well with my elements, but there's not a useful place for it this round. I guess I could do it in B3 into B4 as another way of getting Dahan in there, but if I did that, I wouldn't need Sudden Ambush this round, actually, which is a thought. This seems like what I would want. I mean, I guess I could keep draw for that. This needs Sun, Water, Earth. We do also have a lot of Dahan movement anyway, but I mean, I guess draw is still Dahan movement. Do we need your Perfect Stillness? Probably not. Just overwhelm the explorers. Don't need them. Okay. Fine. I'm gaining 1 less energy. Well, I guess after I do this. And then we have to do this. Don't go into B8 directly, but do that. We do get a town destroy as well. Not that it's necessary. I guess we could do it in B6 or something. Alright, so we do have the solution for F5, not F2. Sudden ambush. Words of warning. Promises of protection. Bargains of power and protection. This targets a land, but I don't actually remove one of your presence on the island from the game. That's like... Why is this not just target self? I guess because you need to be in a land with Dahan, is what it's saying. Forcibly, you must be in a land with Dahan. But now I have this permanently. Yay. Pent up calamity or ranging hunt. We could do... And I guess, like, hypothetically, I could remove both of my beasts from this land to kill everything in there, and then do ranging hunt F6. Doesn't really do that much, except if they do explore mountains, then we do have a land to put a town without blighting. Board B doesn't have that luxury. It is a 25% chance of that. And at the same time, if they do... Well, if they do sands, then we're doing the, Slave Rebellion there. So that would be fine. Yeah, presently if they do mountains, then it's a, targeting a land is also important for repeats once downpour is added to the game. Fair enough. And also, I guess there's a scenario where you could place an element marker on a corner of a land, and then if you target a land that's adjacent to that, you also gain the elements there. So that would be a reason to target a land. Yeah, I think I'd do this then. Removing all of my beasts. Let's put these in the sands then. And I can target with Frenzied Assault. Actually, let's put one in the sands and leave the other in F6. And then I could target that with Frenzied Assault if they do mountains. Alright, here we go. Slave Rebellion. So strafe that guy. Strafe that guy. Strafe that guy. Resolve. For the rest of this turn, don't generate fear for destroying buildings. Rude. On each board, in the land with the most combined invaders plus Dahan, minimum one of each, add a disease, 2 damage to Dahan. Offerings of Pattern and Dance, each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among all its lands gained 1 energy. Yeah, so none of that helps with F2. Land on each board in the land with the most combined things. Need 1 of each. So like that's the only option there. That's the only option there. It's actually really annoying because I guess we're only pushing 3 to Hana, so that doesn't actually do anything with Slave Rebellion. Oh my god, I have to do 2 damage to Dahan. Also, that's the only land there. So all of this is forced. I guess because it's the single land with the most. But 2 damage to Dahan. Oh no, those Dahan have a lot of health anyway. And actually, if we had the... Well, I guess... Wait, the damage would... It wouldn't be reduced by defend, right? And then, yeah, energy... I don't think Fangs is in any land with Dahan, so... Fear card, help me. Push an explorer town from a land with badlands, wilds. Or Dahan. This has Dahan, so we can stop this blight. Okay, that's good. Everything there needs to happen. Everything there needs to happen. Not really many candidates here. And it does say forcibly, and it's also on each board too, so you have to do this, and it's per board, and that's really rude. Well, stopping that blight is important. And we could just put this Explorer in F5 and it dies, that's fine. And on this board, this Ravage was taken care of entirely, right? Just a town in there, and I can't get anything else in there, so it's this guy. And does it make sense to push the town somewhere? If I push it to B8, they build a city there. Which is one less town. It's only 3 towns being added though. If I have enough damage with Manifestation, that would be fine. Because, I mean, I was going to originally destroy this town with Furious Assault anyway. So if I destroy that town, I do the thing here, 3, 6, 8, 9, and there would be an Explorer left over, but I guess the downside is I'm not generating fear from destroying buildings, so a city is not good for fear this round. So maybe I don't want to add a city unnecessarily then. Okay. I don't want to put it in F3 because if they explore wetlands, that's a blight. Putting it in B1 would be okay because I could put the town in B6. Town in B5 is blighted, so that's a bit sad. So I guess I put in B1 then. I guess the thing is though, if I was going to use Furious Assault in B6, then I probably just want to push the Explorer out in all honesty. And I could, well, I don't want to push the Explorer to B8 because then it will turn into a town immediately, and that's bad. So go there, because there's already an Explorer there. And then one of these Explorers must go, I guess there's a town there, but yeah. We gotta start putting warding patterns down, by the way. We've been kind of ignoring this for rounds. We put down 2 of them with the one spirit who was the least capable of doing it, apparently. But yeah, we gotta start doing this, like, today. Because there's only 2 more stage 2 cards. So if we do 1 warding pattern per turn, we still have to deal with a stage 3 explore town. Explore adding a town, that is, yeah. Town per land even. Brutal. Alright, Furious. Gather. Manifest. Still wasn't enough damage. Alright. Land with city. I guess I could have hit this one with that. Wish it was D2. That would have been nice. Yeah, they're adding 1,000,000 towns, by the way. 20 towns. This does stop a town. I got Frenzied Assault, but actually the candidates for that aren't the greatest. I guess that's a fine one. This is a fine one. Also, Coastal Cities is only this one. Probably just do Frenzied there. Actually, I was thinking it was 3 damage for some reason. So I'm dumb. It still adds 3 towns, but not terrible, I suppose. And then I guess I was thinking the 3 damage from there. This also adds a strife, but that's not super helpful. Now that we're past the Slave Rebellion. So it's here, and that's, I guess, also here, but I don't have range anyway. I guess I could have added the strife to the city there, because they're still building a town. But I did reduce the town count by 1 that way, so it's fine. Okay. Thunder Speaker is probably a reclaim. I don't foresee why you'd only play 1 card this next round, so reclaim, gain a minor, probably a 2nd minor as well. Unquenchable Flames. 1 fear, 1 damage to buildings. Invaders do not heal damage at end of turn. If you have 2 fire, add a Badlands. Very interesting. Renewing Boon. Choose a land where you and target spirit both have presence. In that land, remove a blight, and target spirit may add 1 of their destroyed presence. Oh, we do have destroyed presence. Just on Vital Strength. Gift of Twin to Daze. Once this turn, target spirit may repeat the lowest cost power card they have in play by paying its cost again. You may do likewise. Also, this is a really bad turn for warding patterns because there's going to be a lot of buildings in the coast. Yikes. You don't have that much energy either. This is a reclaim. It's a pretty good turn for Pent-Up Calamity. If we can hit the threshold on that. You only have 2 plays still, so you don't. Also, we have this Forgotten Powers toggle here now. That's new. Good reminder of the Forgotten Terrifying Chase. Forgotten unique power cards are permanently removed from the game. This one's going to be minor if I wanted to do Pent-Up Calamity. I'm not sure if I am yet or not. Here there be monsters. Not good for this next round. Blow down river, blow down wind. Range 2 sacred site, push up to 1 blight, explorer, or town. And a lot of these aren't really helpful elements this round. Don't go ravage. This one's defended, so there's like only 1 blight and it's a cascade because of F2. No. There is an event that allows you to reclaim a unique forgotten power. Yes, I guess this permanently is not quite true. And what it means is it's not put into the minor power deck, but yeah, there is an event. I think it's actually in right now, maybe. But there is an event, I did see it, that says that target spirit may reclaim a forgotten power card. Thank you for the Prime sub, Pricey Provinces. 28 months of subscription. Much appreciated. Yeah, these powers aren't really exciting, are they? So F2, how do we deal with F2? The answer is Pent-Up Calamity to remove the disease. Yikes. Because there's still a blight there, and if that ravages, it's a cascade, and we only have 1 blight left on the card. The island could still be healthy, though, which could be exciting. We saw that last time I played. Now the question, I guess if I reclaim on Vital Strength, I can play 3 cards. And then I could reuse the Defend power. In which case I would like to have lots of range. I could put Presence in B1, but that would still not see F2. Okay. Is there a land where Vital Strength has a presence with Thunder Speaker? Not presently. And we have to, like, we're gonna have to play warding patterns everywhere, right? So we have to figure that out too. I don't know what I'm doing here. Is this Thunder Speaker? No air. This is the animal. Not too many sun and fires on the same card. Yeah, not too super pleased with this roll. Yeah, I don't really know. Let's do the one that might add a Badlands, because that sounds fun. Right. You have another power card gain. Cycles of Time and Tide, Swarming Wasps, Savage Maw Beasts, Pull Beneath the Hungry Earth. This adds Beast. This adds Dahan. Strange rules question. Ward the Shores is a 0 cost. Can use Twinned Days to repeat ward. That's a very interesting thought. Was that the power I did not take? Yeah, well, we'll not be able to find that. They may repeat the lowest cost power card they have in play. Scenario says, may play a power card face down as if it were cost 0 energy. Presumably, yes, because you're playing it as if it were a 0 cost energy. But yeah, we could repeat warding patterns that way. Presumably. Is it programmed that way in the game? And also, is my presumption also correct? I do not know. Yeah, these are not good elements either. Soaring Wasp gives an animal and an air, so I can move Dahan a little more easily that way. John's here! Have no fear, John is here. Sharp Fangs could defend F2 maybe? Play an air, you have range 1. That defends F2. Stops the build there. Oh, I guess that's diseased anyway. Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on anymore. You're reclaiming, you're placing presence at range 2. Nassim is here too. Hello, John's wife. I like your cameo appearances on stream. I'm tempted to put presences for defend purposes. I'm also wanting to put a presence here, so I could warding pattern there eventually. Since, you know, our goal is to do that. I guess Vital Strength playing a warding pattern this turn probably doesn't make too much sense unless you get plus range. In any case, I guess I'm going to D3. What? I had 4 plus 3 and I got 6. How did that happen? How could that possibly have happened to me? According to Quirky, Ward the Shores does count as a power card, so the only issue would be if your team is actually programmed it that way. Well, John says think so, so the lead programmer of Handelabra is here. He's the infallible resource. Speaking of which, John, permanently removed from the game is slightly wrong if we have a event card that says you can bring it back. That was a criticism from chat. Not a major criticism, no. Which means you don't have to forget a previous criticism. Heyo! Most likely it works since we've had Power Storm for a long time. True. Power Storm existed at this... Well, yeah, it's been in the public release. What was that? So this text here, forgotten unique power cards are permanently removed from the game. This is not true if there's an event card that says blah blah blah, target spirit may reclaim a forgotten unique power card or something. I forget what it's called or what the effect even is, but I think it is in. It's an event. A witch event. And is it even in right now? Yes, it's true, and that screen is there now because of that event. Yeah, okay, yeah. But the language implies it's permanent. But it's not permanent, is it? No, don't abandon game. Resume game. It could be a nature incarnate event. Well. Okay, presence. ABP, always be presencing. It's permanent until it isn't. Precisely. Yeah, so all of my beasts conversions means I don't really have sacred sites with fangs, and I don't really have a good candidate for sacred site other than B1. It's rude. I also have only 3 energy, which is very difficult to do a warding pattern in B1 with. I guess you ranging hunt to kill B1. Kill someone in B1. Although I guess we're using this to defend F2, weren't we? So much for energy this round. Can I at least get another fire? No. Another moon? No. I only have 2 card plays anyway. Yeah, those always... Alright, I guess... No, the plan was I was going to do this with an air. Right. Reach to Han, damage to buildings. Surely there's going to be utility there. The problem, though, is... Right. The problem is I need ranging hunt if I want to do something. I guess... I can't do a warding pattern and also ranging hunt to be able to do a warding pattern, huh? Savage. I also can't do sap the strength and also warding pattern and also have the range for warding pattern, huh? I guess I could do ranging hunt to get into F2 though. And then I could do sap the strength. Is that the only blight? Yes. But yeah, we really gotta jump on the wording pattern game. Kinda sucks that I can't really... Well, okay, so I do plus range. And then vital strength does wording pattern. You're not hitting the threshold for that even if I try for it, so I'm not gonna try. I'm not sure if I even want to do it this round, but whatever. Plus defend means B3 is not a problem, right? Because it's defend 4 now. Sure. Let's also... Not a good candidate for Fire in the Sky. We could wait on the Ravage for that, I guess. Wording pattern on rituals because my energy sucks now. It's gonna be +2 energy per turn. It's like I haven't grown at all. I don't know, it's gonna be +1 this turn. It's even worse. Right. Vital strength with +1 energy per turn. Can this even go negative? You gain 1 less energy each turn. What if you gain less energy than you gain. Like, say, what if Shadows plays bargains at +0 energy? Does it now plus -1? You have to pay energy to grow? Or not even grow, just you have to pay energy to exist. Like life, right? Hey-o. It just blocks whatever energy you would gain. Man. Alright, Sudden Ambush does something. So I will take it. It does something. Gather the Warriors is Gather 2, but I don't have energy for Warding Pattern unless it's a land where the build was prevented, such as B3. Except we're Warding Patterning that with, with Vital Strength anyway. Ay. I mean, I will have fires. I could play this. Hello, I'm back. My microphone is crap again. I mean, I think it's just the cable. The cable was acting up for the past several months already, where it was... It's just, it's like it's loose, but now I think it's like it's just breaking. I don't know. Let's finish this game up before it breaks again. It's actually more annoying for you than it is for me because your audio is gone for like 10 seconds. Call the cable guy. Bill Nye the cable guy. Except not really. Sure be nice if there was a way to actually do a warding pattern with Fangs and B1. Sure would be nice. What if I were to put Fangs' presence in F2 and do the warding pattern in F2 instead? Because everything's there dead. So that would be more accessible. And I was like, I can't do Sacred Sites anywhere, but I could put presence in the jungle anyway, so... I think I was just looking at beasts and not actually jungles. Okay, so that means I can do a warding pattern then. Cool. So... the defend card, and then the warding pattern card is... which one? Territorial Strife. Cool. We have one play left. I already did the warding pattern, so it's just whatever I want to play with Vital Strength. If only there was Dahan near D2, but for some reason I got rid of all the Dahan in D2. Weird. Play that one, I guess. Actually, hold on. Is there a way for me to hit this threshold next turn with card plays? Probably not if I'm doing warding patterns, so I'm just not going to try. Scream disease into the wind. Disease! So I get plus range with this power. I get plus range. I have to remove one of my presences from the island. This one. I could add disease. Hold on. I could add disease there. Which, actually, my energy is a bit of a problem, isn't it? Because I can't do warding pattern in B3 with... Oh, but I was gonna do sudden ambush there, probably, wasn't I? Means I don't need that disease. It does have to be a land with Dahan. Sure wish it was over there. I guess I could do promises of protection to gather Dahan into a land and then put the disease there instead of doing Draw of the Fruitful Earth, which sounds a lot better. Because it means that, like, D1 doesn't build then, right? Not that B1's a particular threat, but... No, actually... Also, it says remove one of your presence on the island from the game. Okay, it is actually removed from the game. The presence doesn't have to be in the land with Dahan. Wait, I didn't do... Right, I did this wrong. Hold on. That... Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the land of Dahan, but like B3 is dealt with sudden ambush, is why I don't really... Yeah, no, let's leave those guys there. Because I wanted that land disease so it stops the builds. Now there's only 15 towns being added this round. Yay! Yeah, by the way, we're adding 15 towns this round. I might actually just lose because the escalation is gonna add towns. Event card, save me. In each land with at least 2 towns, replace half the towns with cities. I don't think there is a land with 2 towns. Not anymore. So that does nothing. Invaders do not ravage in lands with disease or strife. Rude! On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with city to a land without city. That has city. There's no... That has city. There's no Dahan. Event card screwed me. Each player removes an explorer from a land with Dahan. Does that do something? Yes. I would like to remove them from there, but it's not building even though they're not ravaging, so stop this build, stop this build, stop this town. Okay. And it's probably because this has a city in it is why it's making me click that. No? Is it just because these are coastal lands and you always have to click for coastal lands? Mountains. Well, that blights the island. Should I blight the island first, or should we place the towns in the other lands? Oh, I should, because the blight card could say remove a town, and that could be where I remove the town. Could also say add a town, and that'd be bad. Alright, once healthy island has become blighted. Untended land crumbles. Add blight to a land adjacent to blight. Spirits may prevent this on any or all boards. Each board to be protected requires jointly paying 3 energy or destroying 1 presence from that board. Wait, you can prevent this per board by destroying 1 presence? Instead of the blight that would destroy the presence? Wait. Oh, each invader phase. Oh, that's rude. Okay, I misread. I missed that. Each invader phase. I was like, why am I not choosing this right now? Each invader phase at blight. That one? Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, this has blight. All right, it was always going to cost 2 energy. That was wrong, but no. It costs 2 energy, but we got the wording pattern. Okay. We're still on tier level 1. We need 11 fear to get to tier level 2, and then we can think about winning the game, although we're placing wording patterns as much as we can. Wording pattern, yay! Oh boy. Build is adding 9 towns. Ugh. Invaders do not heal. Okay, I don't have the wording pattern on you. Gather 2. It only damages buildings also. So if I could damage a bunch of buildings somewhere and follow it up next turn with ranging hunt, I guess? That's gonna be difficult. I could do it like in B1. Mountains build is just, ugh. There's a lot of explorers in D5 somehow. It's like they never did anything in mountains this entire game. I guess they did. Whoops. I don't feel too good about this right now. Meanwhile, John's like, am I allowed to say we're winning yet? Hear that in my head. Am I allowed to say we're winning yet? Yeah, I don't feel like we're under control yet. Surely it's not as dire as it seems. So the only coastal mountain is B2, which is annoying because that's the only ravage that we could try to deal with to prevent a build. So all these other builds, we can't preface them with a ravage. So like B2, if we could deal with that somehow. But it's not even building that much, it's only building 1 town. So like doing something in places with lots of builds like D5 would be better. But we seem to not have a lot of spirits that could do that. Because I decided to forget Year of Perfect Stillness, which would be great for D5 right now. Would like to go back in time and shake myself. Not only are they building 9 towns right now, but the escalation is guaranteed to go off. And furthermore, we're placing blight unless we destroy presence. Lots of brutal things happening. Or also spend 3 energy, but we're not very energy rich this game for some reason. It's weird. Yeah, I feel like this is the most beneficial place for unquenchable flames. Also 1 damage to 1 building. I thought it was to all buildings. I misread. But this does put a Badlands down. Which means that then ranging hunt here, if I do Beast's Conversion as well, that deals 3 damage, which kills all the buildings. So that's something. Gather 2 Dahan. We do have Nature's Resilience. I could try to put a warding pattern in B2. Let's get these over. Could reclaim 1. I'll reclaim 1 for sudden ambush. Then B2's entirely cleared. It is a lot of energy though. Gotta start gaining energy on green. Or not on green, on vital strength. Because, you know. Presence. Whoa, mama, this is gonna be a ravage. Yeah, it's 5 blight. I'm more worried about the builds. Because it's 9 towns with 3 left on the card plus the escalation. And you just don't have many options for dealing with that right now. Like if I do presence here and guard the healing land, that defends D3. But it's like it costs 6 energy to do a warding pattern there still. I could try for a major. The thing is I'm only gaining 1 energy. And it says +3, but it's actually +1. Because I did this twice. I could put a presence here and that defends 2 and F3. Actually, would defend 2 and B2 as well, which means I could do Wards of Warning instead of Nature's Resilience. Not that that does anything, but, you know, it's interesting. Is it still +3? Oh, it is still plus. No, I know, but I'm thinking about a major power. Like, I can play my hand regardless of what growth option I take. But the issue isn't this not being +3. The issue is, can I afford a major? Because I would have only 3 spare energy. Well, plus an energy from my growth there. So it's gonna be 4 + 4 - 2. 6 minus the 2 energy if I... Assuming that I'm not playing Guard the Healing Land. Because I could fire in a sky to blight, or to strafe a town, and my defend 3 is not enough. Never mind. It's kind of rude that Pent-Up Calamity doesn't let me remove Badlands. Seems like a design flaw that this card is not, you know... What's the opposite of retroactive? It's annoying that this card is not speculative. No, I'm kidding. I don't care about that. It's funny. This card should be rewarded to say remove any number of tokens, including spirit tokens, or even town tokens, or city tokens. Yeah. Okay. Jokes aside... I know there's a bug where it does. Nice. I mean, the issue isn't actually that I need to remove this Badlands. I'm just thinking. I'm like passively thinking about how to resolve this turn. So if I move beasts into F3 after ranging hunt, because I'm using ranging hunt to deal 3 damage there, push the beasts into F3, then I could do Pent Up Calamity. I don't have enough energy to play all the cards, but if I had the energy to play 3 fire cards, I guess I could not do the growth or not gain a power card. Actually, if I do this, actually do +3 energy on you, then I could remove the beasts, deal 6 damage, and then put the beasts back. Badlands are thematically more permanent, so you think it's intended to not remove them. How can something be more permanent? More permanent. Permanent is permanent. No, permanent is permanent. Sorry. I know what you mean though. I just like the language that. So yeah, that is an option. I do +3 energy on Fangs instead of placing or adding a power. And then I'd have 6 energy, so I'd be able to afford those. And then so that will like resolve those, and it would remove 5 towns. So there'd be 8 towns on the card. And then if we have B2 defended, which there are means of doing that, that removes a town and stops a build. Like if we also added Dahan, assuming the event doesn't screw us, which it will. But if that's defended and 3 Dahan, then that removes a town, puts that at 9, and it stops this town. All right, so there's 9 towns on the card, and we're adding 8. Still lose to the escalation unless we place more Blight down. Which Blight is a resource. We're also not putting too many warding patterns down, and stage 3 is imminent. And we basically lose once we hit stage 3 with France. Because that's 12 towns per turn on the Explorer. Wasn't this game supposed to be easier because we put the coast on one side so the interland is harder to be seen? Wasn't that why this is easy? Rude. Anyway. Have I considered isolate powers? Are there isolate powers in the game now? Next week. If you get infinite vitality and then the Blight card just fails in one land, that would not really help that much, but it's a cute thought. I feel like I have to click major here. Unleash a torrent of the self's own essence. Target yourself. Gain 4 energy. You may forget a power card to gain 4 more energy. Or pay X energy minimum 1 to deal X damage in a land at range 0. 2 sun, 3 fire, you may do both. Mists of Oblivion. Ah, that helps. Entwined Power. Infestation of Venomous Spiders. Oh, by the way, John, going back to the beginning of the stream, by the way. Where was it? Do 1 fear. What does do fear mean? Just kidding. We talked about that months and months ago on a power card that says do fear equal, or sorry, a scenario actually says do fear. And he said, do fear is a weird phrase. After this power causes invaders to skip an action for damage. Okay. Add beasts, gather up to 1 beast. For each beast, 1 feared invader skip 1 action. D5 is the best candidate for that. In range. Adds a beast. So we don't need beasts there. We just need it to stop the build. And that gets rid of a city and 3 towns. It's really the best place for that. Main issue is the energy cost. We can afford it, right? I can't do guard the healing land, but I can do infestation. Now, when it says range 0, does that get affected by this? I don't know. This would be really nice if I didn't also lose 2 energy per turn to defend with Dahan. Guess it's that one. I don't know that I'm gonna activate this any more times. Although it is tempting to activate it millions of times and just not have energy on a vital strength anymore. I can do a repeat. I can repeat Fire in the Sky. That might be good. All ranges and power attacks get range boost. Good. Good, good, good. There's another thing that I wasn't sure about. But it was a base power, so I guess my idea of the ruling on that is weird. Alright, so this is range 1. I need to get my Dahan army closer to the coast. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have a Dahan army here. So we're doing this one. We're reclaiming this one. With those, I could do a warding pattern in B2 because the Ravage will be passed. Okay. That's 1 warding pattern down out of 5. 6? No, 5. Yeah, 5. Okay. Still gonna take too many rounds. Hi, I'm back. Hi, back. Of course, by doing this, I don't get to play a warding pattern with you, but I mean, there's just no hope this round anyway. Also, we don't even have a sacred site in a good spot. Yeah, go with the beasts. Okay. We do have a prey on the builders. I played this. There's no place I can use it. Dang. Dang. Can I have plus range, please? Okay, we have a fear card. And we have a repeat. A repeat swarming wasps. I mean, wording pattern. That's actually a thought, except I don't have gather the warriors to a good extent. I do have call to migrate, though. The issue is that D3 is gonna blight, but you know, the event card or fear card could save us. Certainly not the blight card. Blight card's having us place blight or remove presence or spend energy, which we don't have. I wonder though. It's not like it's gonna terribly speed up the game though, because I guess hypothetically we could win next round if we get situated and can place a warding pattern in the remaining 3 lands. And we kind of have to win, like, very quickly, so I guess I have to take this gamble. I have no idea how I'm going to afford a warding pattern in D3, but I'll worry about that down the road. And I'm going to prevent the build in... It's possible there's an event card that says perform a build action in a land not shown in a terrain, so I do want to block a build in a reasonable spot. Seems like jungles are probably the best spot, because other than D2, there's no coastal jungles. The problem is this is going to be a coastal city, but I mean... It's either jungle... Well... Because after the Explorer, it's either sands or wetlands. So jungle is guaranteed to not come up. In which case, if they do a build, we could say jungle, and then they don't build there. Yay. I guess hypothetically I could put a sacred site in F3, but that's not going to do anything for me anyway. Let's just leave it there. And I don't want to repeat that one. Click a land to add blight to an adjacent land. You can go there safely. Coastal blight I don't want to do, probably. Don't have much energy to spend. We could remove this presence, or those presences. Oh, I'm spending energy. What? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, do this again. That land. Oh, because I see what I did. Okay. Add adjacent there. Add blight to an adjacent. If I click this, oh, it's just destroy one presence. It's not destroy 3 presents. It's destroy 1 present. Duh. Okay. Dissolution threatens. Spirits are losing awareness and control of pieces of themselves. Each spirit chooses. Accept this fragmentation. Destroy 2 presents, adding 1 wilds in place of each. Focus your will towards wholeness. Add 1 of your destroyed presents to 1 of your lands. Next turn, all your powers are slow and cannot be made fast. Explorer's Blunder. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Lay ambushes during Ravage. The Han deal damage at the same time as invaders. Oh my god, this is... Ugh. Adding destroyed presence is tempting. I don't think Fangs has any destroyed presence. The problem is, if all my powers are forced slow, I can't deal with the Ravage. Because, like, I have no Ravage plans here. Like, I mean... I think we're only barely not losing to towns this round anyway. I mean, we're definitely losing to add 12 towns with the stage 3 escalation. But I would definitely lose to the Ravage first. Each spirit chooses. Okay, so it's each spirit. Ooh, okay. So we could have 1 spirit who is guaranteed to go slow. Place destroyed present. I'm not sure if we have a spirit that's guaranteed to go slow, though. I mean, arguably Fangs, except Fangs also does not have any destroyed presence, you know. I mean, adding wilds does stop the town from being placed with the stage 3 escalation, at least, right? Because it's during stage 3, explorer adds a town in addition, so if they can't explore, then it doesn't happen. So I'm probably happy to have Thunder Speaker destroy these 2 presents. I accept fragmentation. I actually don't need the super stack, do I? It is the Dahan army, but... And then Vital Strength, we don't need this one. Fangs only has 4 presents on the board, but I guess this is blighting, and I kind of neglected that. But it is... Oh, but the warding pattern is going to go away. Oh, crap. Crap on a stick. I will accept fragmentation and lose that game. Do I need Sacred Sight? I don't need Sacred Sight. Destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. On each board, destroy 2. So it's not even per land, it's just total destroy 2 explorers. Which, like, they were dead anyway. There's no beasts. There's some beasts, but that build was already prevented, so that's rather silly. That's a whole lot of crap, isn't it? Skip the next normal explorer. During the next invader phase, draw an additional explore card. Well, that would have been a fine round to have powers be forced slow, I guess. Crap on a stick. Crap on a stick! I mean, get the build, yes. Well, I can still do this wording pattern. I can still call to migrate. I can still do this wording pattern. Yay! We have to do 4 lands because this got removed. And yeah, we're just like so screwed. So screwed. Mountains Ravage. I guess actually the Mountains Ravage was the big issue of that, not even the build. There's not even a place for Frenzied Assault either. Can't reach that anymore. I destroyed a presence. Crap on a stick. Alright, well, I guess we just wrap this game up. There's no... I mean... There's no build. The problem is the stage 3 escalation is 12 towns, and we're certainly not removing 12 towns. No, don't do that. That's dumb. Just gather these to Han. Now it's defend 4. Yay. Sacred Site there defends that. Yay. I guess the question is, do I lose 2 Cascading Presence before I lose 2 towns? I can defend this. Maybe. Doesn't do anything. It generates a fear, I guess, but... Doesn't France's event flip next turn? There's one more event card, and then it's the event. I'm pretty sure, because it's like it's 3 cards, then Slave Rebellion. Slave Rebellion says, after finishing this event card, draw another one, then return this card to the event deck. So after this one was resolved, then it was put under the top 3. So there's a 3rd card. I usually think of it as after the first stage 3 Explorer is when the next Slave Rebellion pops up, unless the event deck is messed around with or the adversary screws with the Explorer deck or whatever. Well, the adversary is France, so I was gonna say, unless you're playing Sweden or Brandenburg Prussia. But you can't do that. You can't combine adversaries. You can't play 2 adversaries at once. That's silly. You can't possibly do that. If I reclaim Sudden Ambush, there's a lot of defend in there. Not that it saves the game, but it's cute. Because defend 3 is not good enough. 2... Yeah, it saves the... kills the... Yeah, we need more Dahan in there. I can only get 1 fast, though. I guess there is... Get out of there. Wait. Wait. Wait, why am I... I clicked Fangs, and it's giving me Thunder Speaker's discard. Rude? At least I thought I clicked Fang. Is that what happened? I clicked Thunder Speaker, then I clicked Fangs, which pulls up Thunder Speaker's discard, and now I can't even click out of it. But if I click Fangs', it's fine. If I click you, it's fine. But as soon as I click Fang, if I click Thunder Speaker, opt out, and then I do something else, it forces Thunder Speaker. Interesting. Interesting. Bug report? I was gonna check Trello to see if there was one, but yeah, sure, I'll report. All right. So yeah, do I have any plans for these ravages beyond not having plans for these ravages? Pent up calamity with ranging hunt, as in I don't actually ranging hunt into there, but I ranging hunt nearby and then send 2 beasts in there and then I do pent up calamity to deal 6 damage. It's cute, but it doesn't do enough. I mean, we're like, there's no way we can win this game, right? I mean, never say never. There's certainly some combinations of things that could theoretically happen that means I don't lose in the slow phase, but it seems extraordinarily difficult to not to be able to win the game at that point. I don't want to like give up, but feels dire. Okay, if I reclaim and I get 6 energy, then it's actually 4 energy, and I would be able to afford infestation, which means I could block a ravage, but not anywhere close to. I have 6 wilds to slow them. True. That's wild. It's actually 5 wilds. Well, 5 lands with wild. Because there's 2 in D1. But yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Promises of Protection seems like it's better to bring back. Is that's gonna provide defend 4 as long as it's neighboring vital strength. If I put the presence, this is range 2 presence, right? If I go in B6, I guess I don't really see that though, is the thing. Unless I reclaimed a +1 range card. Then I have 3 range. 3 range. But really, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I ain't got no plan. Certainly it's just reclaim here. There's like no way. So I'm just gonna like do this for now. And we'll worry about placements later. But wait a minute, why am I at 4? Why do I have only 4 energy? Rude. I guess I could use this to stop an explorer. At the cost of, you know, 4 energy. When I wanted to, wait. Oh, did I forget the one? Wait. Wait, where's my... Oh, Promises of Protection. I thought it was a major power. I'm dumb. Okay. So I can play the 4 energy card. I could. I don't know that we can even get to 4 card plays before the game's over, so I guess I take the air because that means I can do things fast. Although I have to play a warding pattern, right? Like, somehow we have to put warding patterns down. And we have to place 4 of them. If I get the repeat on this, I guess maybe there's potential. There's no blight here. Just these 2 lands that are ass. This costs 8 energy, this costs 8 energy. Surely 8 energy isn't too hard to come by, right? You get a reclaim 1. I think we're already doing that. Am I doing that? It's expensive. I'm just not going to gain power cards anymore. How about that? How about that? I think what I wanted to reclaim actually was freaking not that card. I guess I could still get Thunder Speakers somewhere, but it's no, that's far away. That's too far away. We needed the Gather 3, Push 3. All right, F4 is just gonna Blight, right? We're just accepting that F4 is gonna Blight. All right. So now that we have accepted that F4 is gonna Blight, let's take back the Gather 3, Push 3 power instead. How about that? Never mind the fact that we don't have enough towns. Don't pay attention to that. It's a silly detail. I can get you into F1 very easily, or you're already in F3, but then Thunder Speaker can go into F3. And the way that we afford this is to just not spend energy anymore. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm not really seeing any way for solving this, but let's go with this thought for now. Wait, wasn't I supposed to get another Dahan in here? Oh well. Oh, I guess I don't need this then. Okay, undo that. Just give me this one. Aha! Nature's Resilience defends that. Aha! Ah! And somehow we're going to just destroy a bunch of Dahan, or destroy a bunch of buildings. I don't have a warding pattern, no. Okay, scratch that. Warding pattern. I'm not going fast. Who cares? And you, Mr. Vital Strength, you probably still have to spend energy because there's no way we can't. There's no way we can't. Play that one. Play warding pattern. There's just no way that we can just like ignore other factors here. Just no way. I got nothing now. You don't even have like any sacred sites anymore. Whoops. So like all these powers don't work except for this one. Whoops. Even a warding pattern doesn't work because you don't have a sacred site. Whoops. All right, you're gonna save energy. That's the plan. Defend. And I have a ranging hunt with damage, but it doesn't actually do anything. It's annoying because my plan was to get Fangs over here. But that's not happening now. I could put beasts in here for some reason, I guess. I'm not even in a jungle, by the way. Oh, no, I am in F2. Okay. I am in a jungle. Excellent. I'm gonna keep my sacred site on the coast. And this presence is doing me jack shit. Actually, I guess it was providing defend here, which hasn't gone away yet, which is weird. Okay, I need to leave that presence there as it's providing defend to D5. Blight there. How about that? Blight to that land. Sure. How many blight are we replacing with the Ravage? 4. Okay. We can do this. I don't really need... I need that presence. I guess we can remove a Thunder Speaker presence, right? You can remove this one. Yeah? And we can place a blight here. Although I think we're placing too many blights. Ignore it. Event card will save us. Invaders do +1 damage when ravaging lands with buildings and no strife. Destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Add Dahan to a land with Dahan and no blight or disease. Just choose for me. I don't care anymore. Is there a land with Dahan and no blight or disease? I guess this one. Yay! We destroyed another town and we stopped a blight. That was my plan all along. Unfortunately, not helpful here. There's just too many lands with blight. Okay. Wait, that was bladed. Wait. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why? This has my presence. This has 2 Dahan. The Dahan are providing 2 defend each. I forgot the power, but there's obviously still defend there. Oh, it had a plus to ravage. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that was the whole thing I read. Yeah, okay, so it did 1 damage more. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Got it. Got it. I was just thinking, why is it now defend 2? But it said defend 2 briefly because it destroyed a Dahan, and then it destroyed the presence. Okay. Because I thought it was like updating the number because I thought it was 4, but it became 2 because it recalculated. But no, that's not what happened. All right. And the only one that doesn't lose the game instantly is this one. Wetlands. And we can't place any blade. So it has to be there. Has to be there, and then, you know, it's up to you where you want to go. And then it's mountains and wetlands, but also adding a town. Maybe. It's gonna add the town after the explorer's done, I guess, is the order of operations. Wait. No. Does it add a town? It's stage 3. During stage 3, explore adds town. I mean, the game's not over, I guess. But that doesn't seem correct. It's okay, we're only building 16 towns. But yeah, right? Like it's stage 3, right? We're in stage 3 now? Or is this considered stage 2 because the first card was stage 2? That seems like a weird edge case. The stage you are in is the top card of the invader deck. It may have looked at the start of the turn instead of the end. Right. Does it mention in the how to play? The stage you are in. How do you know what stage you are in? I don't know where we actually say that, like, at all, because that's like... That only matters for, like, event cards and this scenario, mainly. Like... No idea. I'm not sure if it's a bug. I'm gonna report it. Stage is top card of the invader deck, which you guess is 2 until both explore cards move to the build space. I guess, yeah, they're both on the... Well... Because the thing is that, like... I guess you flip this over, right? Or no, it was a fear card. During the next invader phase, draw an additional explorer card. Because, like... The explorer deck is there. The invader deck is there. It's on top of explorer, right? Yeah, I'm gonna report it. Not sure. John's gonna come in and be like, read the rules, Logic. It says in the instructions that you are in the stage according to blah 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 blah. That's what John sounds like. Read the rules. No, John's more like, I don't know what you mean. What stage are you in? Isn't it obvious? That's what John would sound like. John would say something like, I don't understand the question. It's obvious what stage you are in, because your stage is right there. Anyway, I'm submitting the bug. We're gonna wrap this game up because we're still in a losing situation because I can't place 2 warding patterns down because I lost a sacred site due to needing to not lose the game in a different way. Shit sucks. Because I don't have this. I don't have a sacred site on Fangs anymore. I don't have a sacred site on Thunder Speaker. Why don't I have a sacred site with Thunder Speaker? Wasn't there 2 presences there? Did I destroy both of them for some reason? Did I destroy this one thinking I didn't need it? That seems foolish. This is Gather 2. Gather 2, push 1. This is Gather 3, so I could... Well, okay, I can get Thunder Speaker in here. There's no Ravage. There's also no way to stop 16 towns. I'm gonna do my best. This is... Okay. Costs 4 energy, but I afforded it. Okay, we only have 3 plans. Did that warding pattern? I guess I can get Thunder Speaker over there. Never mind the fact that Southwest is just brutal. This warding pattern costs 8 energy. Jagged Earth, page 13 says the stage you are in is the top card of the Invader deck, but the way it is worded, it sounds like that only applies to events. That said, you think it would be an overly technical reading of the rulebook rather than looking at the spirit of the rule. There are powers that are also stage dependent, and you don't think the rule was written with things like this in mind. Yeah. I mean, it's not really that... Because this scenario is from Branching Claw. Branching Claw is also when you have the event cards that care about what stage you're in, and the power cards that care about what stage you're in. And the fear card that says skip the next Explorer, I think, is also from Branching Claw. I think. But yeah, certainly, like, the event cards only ever resolve when, like, it's clear the top card is this. But, like, this is one that checks, like, when the Explorer is done. And, like, normally there's only one card that's revealed, but because there is the fear card that can postpone the next Explorer, yeah. Certainly weird. Certainly, like, the spirit of it definitely seems like, you know, the top card of the Explorer deck is what the next Explorer is, and that's the stage you're in. It certainly seems like a loophole to say, oh, this top card is stage 2, but you revealed a second card, but you're still technically stage 2. Also, this build. I mean, okay. Ignore the fact that there's 15 towns being placed. This build sucks for putting down a freaking warding pattern. Like, ignore the fact that France lost condition. Ignore that. Because they're building a city and converting this Explorer to a town. Then they're gonna build again, which is another city. So that's 3 more buildings, plus the 3 that are there, plus the blight. So that's 14 energy I need to spend in D3. But it's okay because Thunder Speaker will give +1 range and we'll put the warding pattern in D2, which only costs a mere 8 energy. A spirit with presence on target board may add one of their destroyed presence. That sounds like fun. Call to Bloodshed. Things are turning around. Plus range. Warding pattern. Spirit with destroyed presence. Also, this pushes Blade, I guess, does something cool. Spirit with presence on target board may add one of their destroyed presence. That sounds like lots of fun. Alright, Fangs. Fangs for nothing. Ah, I didn't want to hit that one. Oops, I hit the button too many times. I don't know. Reclaim, because I just want to get all my cards back. Gather up to 1 Dahan, then if Dahan are present, either defend 1 per Dahan, or after invaders are added or moved to target land, 1 damage to each added or moved invader. However, I can do a slow power fast. Therefore, we win the game. Yay! We won the game! We did it! Actually, I wanted to place presence. Not that it matters. But I want to, damn it. I don't even know what my powers are. Slow power fast. The fun one. And I don't have enough fires. Doesn't matter. Because I'm going to call to migrate. I'm not doing a warding pattern, that's foolish. However, you're gonna do a warding pattern. And then you're gonna save all your energy because most likely you're not gonna be able to afford anything else. Cool. Ignoring the fact that we're losing the game, this sounds like a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm not on this board or that board. Wow, okay, so it's this board. So, not that one, though. Do you have destroy presence? You do. Gather that one. Gather that one. Ends up Calamity to add disease, thereby avoiding millions of towns or something. Sure, add things. Do a slow power fast. There, warding pattern. Yes! Yes! I can even think about the possibility of doing ranging hunt somewhere, except all the lands are blighted, so it doesn't really do anything. I'm fine with this. We have to destroy presence. Destroy. Destroy. No spirits are left on that board. That sucks. Destroy. What do you mean I just added that destroyed presence? Slave Rebellion. I don't even know what we can do this with. That one. Oh, she's even destroy a town. Wow, I don't want that. Okay, destroy the town that's in here. There's not enough. Oh no, actually this one will convert because it's 1 damage per, right? And that one will convert. Or yeah, take damage per strife. So we were losing 2 towns. Yay! We're putting towns back on the thing. There's a chance. There's a chance. That also means this one. Actually, no. Damn it. But it's gonna take too much damage with the Badlands anyway. There's no point. That will remove the town, so sure. That one's already strafed. There's no Dahan anywhere. Destroy a town. Strife cities, I guess. I don't know. Theater card will save us. On each board with cities, add blight to a land with city. Spirits may prevent this on any all boards by destroying 2 presents from each board to be protected. Sure would suck if there was a board with no presents, huh? Sure would suck. We didn't even lose to the towns. I mean, we would have lost if the stage 3 escalation did occur, but still. Wasn't this game supposed to be easier because of the layout of the board? Oh, well. Maybe it was harder because spirits were too far away to do things. Let's say it was that. 20 for difficulty, 8 for the invader cards not in the deck, 9 for the 27 surviving Dahan, -7 for the 22 Blight. Yeah, that's a lot of Blight. So, to those of you who don't watch people on Handelabra play Spirit Island because they always win, like, what's the point of playing if they always win? Well, you don't always win. However, if you thought that I played this match terribly, go home and play it yourself. France 4 with Ward the Shores, and go ahead and line up all the shores in a line so they're especially warded, and win it yourself. Although I probably should have focused more on warding patterns earlier in the game, I guess, but I think probably the main mistake I made was I didn't focus on energy with Thunderspeaker that much, because Thunderspeaker was starved for energy, and then Vital Strength was starved for energy towards the end, which is rather weird for Vital Strength. Was because I decided to lose 2 energy per turn to have Dahan granting defend powers, but it ended up not really working that well because Vital Strength is not situated that well. If this were a normal game of Spirit Island, maybe it would have been better, as we wouldn't have had to focus our efforts on the shore as much, but I guess that's why this scenario is difficulty 2. The Invader and the Event decks were kind of rude. I think the main rude one was the consecutive jungle turns, because then the escalation in the jungle was basically forced blight, because all the jungles had buildings. I guess the event card also added a build here. Like this land was empty, and then they said, hey, push a town out of here forcibly into this land, which forces that to build. Yeah, that was kind of rude. I don't know that which events were the rude ones though. No fear from buildings. I don't think we really generated that much fear that turn anyway. I guess just pushing towns out in that one Ravage that we had everything taken care of was rude. But I think it was the Blight card also was kind of bad. Forced presence destruction unless you want to willingly place Blight on the island, which seemed fine for a while until we ran out of Blight. Whoops. Oh well. Yeah, I could have probably played better if I played faster, but it's kind of annoying because you want to clear out the shores so you can place warding patterns, but in clearing out the shores you no longer have energy, so you can't really, or you don't really have card plays, so you can't play a warding pattern. And warding patterns don't grant elements, so you don't get your innates, so it's kind of hard to fit in. Like, I could have gotten more energy on Thunderspeaker by going up the energy track, but I wouldn't have had as many card plays, and I still would have had to take actions to clear out lands. So yeah, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to find that balance. Also, France 4 was just kind of tough. I think it's just the fact that I was trying to prevent all the coastal cities. Well, I said because of the fact. There were many facts. Fun fact, there are many facts. I could have had +3 energy with Fangs in the early game and warded instead of converting to beasts. Yeah. I could have just clicked +3 energy a lot instead of gaining power cards, or could have left more presence on the board instead of stonks. I just have in the back of my head that ideal Fangs play is to convert to beasts because of things I've heard from other players. Like, oh yeah, Tipping Point is a bad blight card because Fangs never has presence on the board because you always convert to beasts. Meanwhile, I'm like, you guys convert to beasts every turn? I'm not convinced it's the ideal play. But because this game is not about clearing the island as much as it is placing the warding patterns, that does shift the way you're supposed to play the game, right? So yeah, I think I just didn't adjust it well enough. Should have gotten more sacred sites on the coast, more energy. You don't get that either, you only do it about half the time. Yeah. I'm basically the same, where it's like, I definitely like try to set up good good ranging hunt things, like damage with the beasts and all that, but I do think that presence on the board is vital, even though Fangs' presence is a bit more fluid. I still think that it's important to have presence on the board, especially for blight cards that have you destroy blight or destroy presence. But I get that there are later spirits that have mechanics around destroyed presence, and I know there's one in Nature Incarnate that's all about like you start with 4 presence, but each round you have to destroy a presence or something until you're fully recovered, which is an interesting spirit. I haven't played with it because I haven't really played Nature Incarnate, period, because I don't have time to play physical games because my life is too busy. Anyway, I'm rambling, but yeah. There's a lot to discuss about like ideal strategy in this game. In any case, that is it for this week. Thank you for watching. Check out the other streams we have on this channel. Every Friday at 4 p.m. is Luck of the Seamus with Seamus the Hug Monster. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. is Spirit Island Sundays with usually Seamus the Hug Monster. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. is Handelabra Games, is Handelabra Live, where John demos content before it is publicly available. And then every Thursday at 7 p.m. is Dolphin's Dive with yours truly. If I quit playing computer games all the time, I could play physical ones. Fair enough. I do play a lot of computer games, so I am complaining a bit too much, but facetiously, because like I do have time. It's easier to boot up a computer game than it is to spend 15 minutes setting up Spirit Island. So I should just stop complaining. Yeah. I'm done. See you guys next week.